Okay, I am headed out to North Carolina from Tiger, Georgia today. Well, today's date is the 11th, which is December 2023, Monday the 11th, and it's about 9:22 currently, right now. And we are headed out to go get for my ex-wife, who is currently in Colorado and has been there for a little bit now. She's taking care of her mother, and she needs to get her prescription refilled, and she can't get it done in Colorado. So I'm headed to North Carolina to get it for her, and I'll be shipping it out, sending it. On the way back home, I'll stop at the post office, and I will send her package with her prescription. Other than that, like I said, it is Monday. It's one of my days off, and dealing with my current relationship with Ging. She is currently moving out of her apartment and then moving 9 hours south to her house, where she has her family members living in there, the kids and whatnot. And on this trip, I'll be describing what's been taking place on our K-1 visa. It's been quite an ordeal. So we are right now in Tiger, Georgia, which is the northeast segment of Georgia. Right there to the right, you will see that that's the post office. And we're going to head through the mountains, go through Hiawassee, Georgia, cross into North Carolina, and we're going to be going to Hayesville, North Carolina, to the pharmacy there. And then on the way back, we'll stop and we'll pick up, or not pick up, but drop off the medication and mail it to her via United States Postal Service. Right now, like I said, it's 9:25, which means it's 10:25 in the evening where Ging is. She is currently staying with a couple of her friends for 2 days, because she knows that when she gets here, she's not going to see them for a while. So she's visiting with them, which I think is good. I think it's a positive thing. You know, she doesn't get out very much, and to spend some time with her friends and have what they call chica, which is, you know, gossip and laughter, and they just have a good time. So happy for her. She'll be probably going to sleep right about now, and she'll, when she wakes up, which will be about normally she's up by 4:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, which makes it you know, an hour earlier on the opposite side of the clock. So if she's getting up at 4:30, it'll be like 3:30 in the afternoon here. So And I know I'll be back long before that, so I'll be able to take her call when she wakes up. And she's going to be headed back to her apartment in Cavite, Philippines, preparing for her move in just a couple of days. 9 hours south to Naga City in Camarines Sur, Philippines. And there she's going to finalize all her packing and her making sure she has every document. And we created a book so that when she goes to the embassy, she has all the information that they might request. Hopefully they won't request very much, but whatever they request, hopefully she has it all in that book. She's preparing that as well. The ordeal of the whole medical exam, the physical part of it, was kind of a nightmare. She went in, she had a schedule to go in. We anticipated that she was just gonna do her physical, then, you know, from the physical, be scheduling her appointment with the U.S. Embassy. That didn't happen. What took place was she went to the physical, she had an appointment, she went to that appointment, they tested her, you know, well, she did x-rays, they did a bunch of other things, you know, your vitals and things like that. But they came across a scar on her arm. It's not a big deal. We all have scars. I was looking at my scars when I was in the shower today. I was like, man, I'm all marked up. But anyway, now they have to reschedule an appointment for her to meet with a psychiatrist because they want to make sure that the scar isn't a suicide attempt. Oh my goodness, how crazy this is going to be, you know. She's like, oh my God, that scar. She goes, it didn't even bleed. But anyway, she has to set up an appointment for that. She ended up getting selected to do what they call a sputum tests. The sputum test is where they have to cough up phlegm, and then they take that phlegm and they culture it, and they're testing to see if you have TB. Why they don't use titers like they do here, where they inject, I don't know, you know what it is that they inject, but they inject it into your skin. 48 to 72 hours later, you go and have it checked, and you have a negative or a positive result. They're not doing that. They're doing the sputum culture, which takes 6 to 8 weeks to culture. It gets even better than that. So before the sputum culture, they have to set up the appointment. So they set up the appointment, and it's for three days in a row. Each day a different specimen. And each specimen has to be 5 mils or more, 5 milliliters or more. That's a lot of sputum. And I know that because I'm a respiratory therapist. That's a lot of sputum. And this woman has a dry cough. So we know that she doesn't have TB, but she still has to undergo this test for 3 days. So we had to cancel our appointment that we had already pre-scheduled for the embassy interview. And during that time when she was going to be there, she had to go back to Manila and stay at a hotel for 4 days because they have to do 3 separate collections, one each day. Now, the collections start at 6:30 in the morning at a place called St. Luke's Hospital in Manila. It's really close to the embassy as well. Hundreds and hundreds of women each day are going to do physicals, sputum cultures, and a number of other things. But anyway, she went back and she had to get in line at 1 o'clock in the morning because there were so many people in line, and it's a first come first served basis. So these women are out there at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they're not first in line. And she's in line for 5.5 hours before they open. and then they finally select you, and then you go in. You're not allowed to eat or drink prior to giving your specimen. So then after the specimen is given, then her and a couple of the other girls that she made friends with that are also going through the same process, they leave and they get some breakfast, and then they go back and they go to bed. So it's like a whole day of rest prior to doing this sputum collection in the morning. So she went 3 days of that. One thing that was really unique that she told me was that on the second day, they gave the women the option of giving 2 sputum samples instead of having to come back the next day. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, and if it does make sense to you, write it down in the comments, because I'm really interested to see what you guys have went through, or what you're anticipating, or what you heard. But that's kind of like cheating on their part, I would think, where they're doing 2 specimen collections at the same time in lieu of the separate day. I don't know. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. So anyway, she did the sputum collections. Now she's got to go back and do the rest of the physical, which I imagine is going to be lab work, and what else, I'm not even sure. But then she also has to have the appointment with the psychiatrist. She has to have another appointment so that she can get immunizations in order to enter into the United States. And then we have to get another interview scheduled for her to be with the embassy, where they're going to interview her. And then after that, if she passes all of those things, then she will be granted, in about a weekish, she'll be granted a K1 visa. Now the K1 visa, as some of you may know, and those that don't know, is what's called the 90-day fiance visa. So they have a show on television, I think, that talks about the 90-day fiance. But anyway, she'll be here in the United States. When she gets to the United States, she has 90 days. Okay, so I went in, I did a little grocery shopping at the same time. So I got her prescription, and now I'm going to head off back to the house in Tiger, and I'll be stopping in Hiawassee and mail her package, her prescription out. So I'll be talking to you real soon about that, okay? Make sure you guys make comments on what we talked about earlier. There's a lot to discuss, and I really need your input so I know what you've been through compared to what I'm going through in terms of the K1 visa. Let me know. I really need to get some input so I know what others are going through, so I know I'm not the only one, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. So let me know. Okay, so now I have mailed her prescription off, and getting ready to leave Hiawassee and head back to Tiger. So I will see you there. Okay, well, I'm back, and I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope that you leave me comments so I know a little bit more about what's going on, and if anything that I've done is, or what I've gone through, is similar to yours. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll see you in the next video.